is happening, my friends? Welcome back. Welcome back to yet another great episode of the Arrington Gavin Show, your go to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day. Whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or even the latest buzz, look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. On today's conversation, my friends, we will finish up the convo from last show about veteran journalist Chris Wallace. Remember when I brought up about him possibly leaving CNN? Well, guys, it looks like it is very accurate. Also, later on the program, we're going to talk about Donald Trump's soon to be cabinet members for his upcoming administration. As you know, if you haven't, you guys are living under a rock. Donald Trump happened to win the most recent presidential election, one of the most historic upsets, I think, of the year. And not a lot of people saw it. Uh, 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 um, Pollsters didn't even realize or even predicted that he was going to win. It was, you could say, an upset because you have him winning, the Republican Party winning the majority of the Senate and also winning majority of the House. It is a red wave for sure. It's what you call a first class ass whooping. That's really what it is. So that is happening. So Trump, he has mentioned some pretty high profile public figures being added to that staff. So we'll mention those names later on. Also, entrepreneur, reality star, R&B singer Ray J threatens mega pastor and podcaster Jamal Bryant. We'll dissect on what he's upset about. And then lastly, if we hopefully we have some time, the Something in the Water Music Festival, the festival that was created by Pharrell Williams. It was a music festival considered to be the Black Coachella, held in his hometown of Virginia Beach, Virginia. And it has seen some rocky periods throughout its years. And so now the local council, the city council, as well as preferably the mayor of the city of Virginia Beach, is pretty PO'd. He's saying, look, make a decision or we're just cutting the festival, period. No ifs, no nothing about it. So we're going to talk about that as well here on the Arrington Gavin Show. Again, my friends, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to join yet another great conversation. Look, this is the show where I happen to keep you up to speed on some current events, and I give my unfiltered take on it. This is simply a conversation, the same conversation you will have during the family gathering, the same conversation you have with the fellas shooting some pool or sitting at the couch watching the Cowboys get clobbered. This is just a typical convo, so again, I truly appreciate that. Be sure, my friends, to follow us and support us. We are a independent grassroots program that's growing each and every day. Our viewership numbers are increasing. Our subscribers are increasing, so I truly appreciate that. You can there's multiple ways you can tune into the program. You can tune in by checking us out on our streaming platforms on YouTube and Rumble. Our YouTube channel is R Smooth Club Media, the letter R, Smooth Club Media. As well as on Rumble at the Arrington Gavin Show. If you might forget our YouTube channel, look, just type in the Arrington Gavin Show. You'll find us. It's that simple. Also, wherever you listen to your podcast, you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. And Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on our radio affiliate, WDJY 99.1 FM, Straight Talk out of the Georgia area. So there's so many ways you can listen to the program. You can also follow us on our social media handles. Instagram at the Arrington Gavin Show, X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Arrington Gavin Show, and then lastly, Substack. We are new to the platform on Substack. Here and there, I might be publishing some articles on there, and also just it's a place where I can just vent. It's another place where I can just vent off and just simply just boom, keep the thumbs moving. Get some good thumb action. You know what I mean? But recently I've mainly shared my obviously my thoughts on the most recent presidential election. In addition to that, I have put in my 2 cents on the what else I put? Oh, I shared my thoughts on Lil Wayne being named a weekly co-host on the NFL Network's Game Day Morning Show. A little bit of everything. I'm actually gonna discuss a little more in regards to uh the something in the water fiasco, as well as Donald Trump's cabinet members. So multiple things I'm gonna be dissecting and tossing up on our Substack. Again, all you have to do is just go to Substack. It's a free platform. Just type in the Arrington Gavin Show. Keep it moving from there. Let's see. What do I got going for you today? We're actually gonna skip over our fun fact of the day. Why? Because I'm having a bit of technical difficulties with some of with our connection right now. So we're just gonna shorten it up, and there's um so many good stories out there. I want to make sure I can impact and discuss all of them and not run out of time. So again, thank you so much. If you're just now listening to the Arrington Gavin Show, I would like to thank some of our proud sponsors of the Arrington Gavin Show, like our friends over at Ingenious Gin. That's right. Ingenious Gin is a black owned, veteran owned spirit with the unique spin of the original gin. This amazing spirit, I mean, it is smooth. You can drink it neat, on the rocks, in a cocktail. It is so delicious. And look, my friends, I am a whiskey bourbon guy all day, every day. And so I myself uh had never been a gin lover until I had Ingenious Gin. And I'm like, wow, this is really good. For all you gin connoisseurs out there, I highly recommend to add this to your collection of gins. Be sure to just support a veteran owned business and minority owned business as well, by going to your local Spirit or ABC stores. Or if you prefer to shop online, you can do so by going to their website, www.ingeniousgin.com. If you are watching this video, I've provided a 20% off discount code at checkout. Please make sure you are as long as you're 20 and over, you can partake in this. And please do me a favor, my friends, drink responsibly. All right. Now I've said my spiel. We're gonna head to a quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the show. As I mentioned earlier, I wanted to continue what I left off from the last show about veteran journalist Chris Wallace. It was rumored that he was leaving CNN after his 3-year contract was up, and sure enough, the man said, "Deuces, I'm out of here." Look, but he did it with class. Mike Wallace, Lord have mercy. Chris Wallace literally has worked with every single legacy media or mainstream media network: MSNBC, uh, um, ABC, Fox News, CNN. Am I forgetting any? CBS. He probably worked for them too. He's literally worked for everything. Literally worked for every single network. Well, it's as I said, it's true. After 3 years of at one of as one of the biggest stars, this is exclusively told by the Daily Beast that the 77-year-old broadcaster said he will instead find a new home on an independent platform such as streaming or podcasting, which he described as where the action seems to be. He highlighted how podcasters, including Joe Rogan and Charlemagne the God, had set the agenda during the presidential election, but added, "I don't flatter myself to think I will have that sort of reach." Um, He's absolutely right. I mean, Chris Wallace, again, 77 years old, a 77-year-old man that is again a veteran journalist, entering into the streaming world. It's very rare that he will garner a huge audience like a Rogan's, like a Charlemagne the God, or any, more youthful podcaster or podcaster that is catered to more of a younger demographic. But I will say I think this is a smart route for him. The man does not act 77 years old, very sharp-minded guy, still and is really at the peak of his career. Um he had first signed with CNN after working at Fox News for 20 years and some change. He was the anchor for the weekly show Fox News Sunday. And he was always, the very fair journalist, which he is. He's a true asset to the industry of journalism. But he was a liberal. He was a liberal on that network. Had his own show for 20 years, and it was a very highly rated program, but and very well respected amongst other colleagues and Fox News viewers. And so I really enjoyed when he was up there, but just suddenly he said, "I'm out of here. I'm leaving Fox." And he left it at the right time because Fox was found liable for a lawsuit of falsifying information that basically they had to end up paying almost $1 billion, literally. I think it was around like 800 something million in a suit that was a part of the whole tour of when Trump was leaving the White House. It was them. I think it was like Newsmax. It was a lot of conservative and even some far right conservative networks that was involved in that lawsuit. I think it was involving like the falsifying about the election. Giving out false information about the election. Um, and he was tired of it. He was a guy that was an ever Trumper, and being a part of a network that is primarily there to endorse and to praise a guy that you did not agree with. He said, "You know what, I'm out of here." CNN at the time was uh creating a streaming network called CNN Plus, which was a huge fail. They end up shutting it down less than 2 months, I believe, or really less than a month. And it was unfortunate because if they had the finance, or if they had the patience to really say, "Okay, look, let's continue to push this out, maybe it might work." But I'm gonna tell you, in my opinion, why they failed. Because I was actually checking it out. I was gonna support it. Um, because my wife and I, we were never really into, we started to move away from cable television. So I was doing, looking at stuff through streaming platforms. I had the Fox Nation app, so I'm like, okay, boom, CNN has this app. Let me check it out. They had a lot of their popular anchors and faces and voices on the network hosting their own streaming shows. Some of them weekly, some of them regularly. And I'm just like, it didn't make any sense. Like, you had at the time, you had Don Lemon, who was your prime time anchor. That was, I think he was usually at the 10 or 11, I think at the 10 p.m. time slot. He was prime time, right? He was the unfiltered. He did, he was the prime time guy. He was hosting like a daytime talk show. Didn't make any sense. Anderson Cooper had like a book club show. Jake Tapper had a show. Like, everybody had their program, and I'm like, I didn't think that was gonna beef up your eyes. Because here's the thing: if your network is hurting with ratings, and those same exact faces that are on the network that is failing, why would you bring them on at give us more of them on the streaming platform. No, bring in new faces, new voices. You had Jamel Hill and Carrie Champion was going to be hosting a show in there. I was really looking forward to that show because it was going to be like a late night pop culture politics based kind of program. So I was pretty interested in looking at that. Likewise, I go back to the man of the hour, Chris Wallace. He was going to be uh uh hosting his own program there, almost giving you sort of the old classic Larry King style show, right? It was going to be just a one-on-one conversation, people in entertainment, politics, music, influentials, philanthropists, you name it. And it was supposed to be this highly successful program. Didn't work out. So as I read more of this article reported by the Daily Beast, it says the stunning decision by Wallace to walk away from CNN at the end of his 3-year, 7-figure contract, rather than to renegotiate it, it is a watershed moment for cable TV. It comes as other anchors face being fired or having salaries cut as declining ratings and cord cutting hit the industry's bottom line. Now, Wallace was one of the main faces of CNN's election night coverage, correctly forecasting that Kamala Harris would need a miracle to win, as the first exit poll showed the depths of her electoral difficulty. Now, he came to CNN, as I mentioned, in 2021 after serving 18 years at Fox News, where he had interviewed Donald Trump repeatedly and earned praise for his handling of the fiery 2020 presidential debate between him and Joe Biden. Now, but he told the Daily Beast that his career in broadcasting, which began on local TV in Chicago in 1973 and spanned NBC's The Today's Show and Meet the Press, ABC's Prime Time Live, and Fox News Sunday before he joined CNN. So, boom, you said it right there. NBC, ABC, Fox News, CNN. Will be over when his contract lasts at the end of the year, describing it as quite liberating. Now, and I read a quote from him. He says, "This is the first time in 55 years I've been between jobs. I'm actually excited and liberated by that." Wallace is considering what streaming or podcast format would work for him and added, "Not knowing is part of the challenge. I'm waiting to see what comes over the over the transom. It might be something that I haven't thought of at all." CNN wanted to retain Wallace, but his decision to quit ahead of contract talks will be seen as a sign of CNN's waning influence in the media landscape. Its ratings have been consistently down, okay? With its election with its election night coverage falling far behind Fox News, and that's understandable because Fox News was the home of the conservatives, and there, guess what, their conservative guy, he won, so of course their ratings would be more entertaining, and the loser channel would not succeed. Let's see right here. It says that in relative terms, it has slid further and faster than its competitors Fox and MSNBC, leading to pressure cut costs. You know what, I think this is a great shift for Chris Wallace. Again, I go back to his age, being 77 years old, 55 years in the game, and a man that's, again, very, very active, very knowledgeable, very, you need him in on the airwaves. You really do, because his voice, his take on it, his journalistic works is sharp. It's not any BS that other journalists gives. Is really straightforward fairness. And again, you need voices like that. but I think that the streaming platform will welcome him with open arms. I think young people will become more of a fan. I think young people that are interested in journalism are Chris Wallace is on their, Mount Rushmore of people. Ooh, I want to, continue to read up on him and all that good stuff. So I think that's it's going to be good. And on top of that too, streaming podcasting is more freely. It's more lenient when it comes to scheduling. That's why a lot of journalists that came from the corporate media companies, they go independent and they're enjoying it. Um, Don Lemon, perfect example. Don Lemon, fired from CNN or let go from CNN, and now he has his own. He started his own media company. He has his own YouTube channel, and it's doing quite well. He has this, the Don Lemon Show. Is doing quite well. What I enjoy because it really is like it's relatable. Like he has a great studio. He's using, he using software that's not used in the mainstream media. Like he's using, hey, he's it look it what am I trying to say? I like seeing the growth of a media company because he's very much still in the beginning stage, and I know he would say that too. His content and his voice is very sharp. He's a journalist, for crying out loud. He's been doing it for a long time. But as far as like the work of behind the scenes and everything, like you can see it in the baby stages. And so but he loves it because he literally brings he can be on his show at any time of the day. He literally goes from sidewalk to sidewalk just interviewing random people. Roland Martin, to me, who's like the king of streaming when it comes from leaving mainstream and growing a corporate company with Roland Martin Unfiltered and the Black Star Network. Like, I mean, highly successful. Chris Cuomo. Even though Chris Cuomo has a weeknight program on News Nation, before that he has a Chris Cuomo project, and he has a lot of leniency because he really is like one of the main faces on the network. So he has a lot of leniency on that side. So it's good. It's good to go independent. It's good to go streaming. So kudos to Chris Wallace. I think I think it's going to be a hard blow for CNN. But I do think that hey, they're gonna have to start shelling out some cash to see who they can afford to bring in to replace Chris Wallace, because he did host two shows for the network. He hosts one weekly show on the weekends called the Chris Wallace Show, which was a panel discussion format show. And then he hosted a show on their streaming service, CNN Max, which is under Max, the streaming platform Max, called, I think, Where Are They Now? Or what's who's I don't know, who's talking to Chris Wallace or something like that. So we will see. We will see. Let's see how we're looking with time. Let me move it on our next story. We're gonna kind of alternate it. I want to bring up Ray J. Ray J. Yeah, that guy. Reality star, entrepreneur, the co-star of the infamous Nashville video with Kim Kardashian. Remember that one? Yeah, that Ray J. Yeah. Uh, also R&B star, the younger brother of Brandy. Ray J is a person that he's interesting. That's all I can say. He's quite the interesting character. Uh I say all that because some days you want to take him seriously, and some days you're like, why do I even bother? Right? Because he's just Ray J's all around the place. He really is. He's all around the place. And so recently I've seen Ray J a lot in the mainstream news, getting interviewed like by Cuomo, and I'm like, wait a minute, why is Ray J on Chris Cuomo in a suit? Like, what is happening here? What is the world coming to? He's giving his, sharing his thoughts on the whole Sean Diddy Combs cases and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, okay, he's speaking on that behalf because he is involved in pop culture and the music industry and whatnot. So okay, let's see what he's talking about. But also, Ray J started his own. He started a streaming network Ratchet TV. I'm joking, but it is Ratchet. I forgot what the name of it is. But he started that. Um, he also started a YouTube show, I think, called Reality Check or something like that, where Ray J is literally the in a suit, like it's trying to be one of those like Fox News, CNN breaking news kind of anchors, and he's sharing all this other stuff, and he's talking some wild stuff because Ray J is just, again, you can never take him seriously. But anyway, a couple things he was posting on social media. The first thing was saying that he was being shot at, and he was calling out the folks that was shooting at him. I'm like, so whoa, are you serious? And a lot of people were like saying, whoa, I don't know if to take him seriously. If this so, glad that he's okay. Is this going to be an investigation? Like, what's happening? So he has that, and then also at the same time, around the same, within the same week, he shares that he apparently was on Pastor Jamal Bryant's podcast, which Pastor Jamal Bryant is the senior pastor of New Birth Church over in Atlanta, Georgia. A very, I'll say, progressive, influential person in the black community as well as in the political scene. He's not scared or shy away from politics, especially speaking on his pulpit. He was very vocal about his support for Kamala Harris. And so I say all that to say, Pastor Jamal Bryant is not the ordinary, pastor. I've had the opportunity to actually meet him once in Atlanta at a conference. Real nice guy. Um he sported he got some beer care products from my company, and just a nice guy, but still very flashy. I mean, you can see the picture, that's him with the red hat. Like he swagged out. Don't get me wrong. Like he definitely brings off that mega pastor vibes, right? The Rolls Royce, the flashiness. Like he brings it on. But anyway, he started a podcast where it's kind of separates him from the pulpit, but they speak on real life stuff. He's had Ricky Smiley on. He's had uh oh my goodness, he's had Willie Moore Jr. I mean, he's had man, I think he's had Cam Newton, if I'm not mistaken. But he's also apparently, it hasn't dropped yet, but he had to sit down with Ray J. Ray J is not happy about it. He wasn't happy about the outcome of the interview. So he goes on social media threatening to say, y'all better take that off. Y'all better not drop that video, because I was I'm not happy. I was lied to. It should be against the law. You uh 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 it was a disservice. You tried to, make me look like somebody that I'm not. And if that goes up, somebody gonna get swept off the pulpit or something like that. I'm just like, what in the world, Ray J? So anyway, I'm gonna read this article. It's reported by Vibe, and it's titled "Ray J threatens Pastor Jamal Bryant over interview that went wrong." And so says here that seemingly Ray J has some issues with Pastor Jamal Bryant. Recently, the singer took to social media to air his grievances against Bryant. Ray J firmly demanded that the pastor and his party to not release their recorded interview, or else he would snatch somebody off the pulpit. And I quote, he said, "Yo, I got nothing but love for Pastor Jamal Bryant." I would share the video, but it was a couple explicits in there, so I'll read it and then let y'all not give it to you then. But he said, nothing but love, Pastor Jamal Bryant. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. But if y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit. The artist told his uh told his phone's camera, don't play the interview, it's not cleared, it's out of bounds. Me and pastor need to talk because the way I was treated was dirty and illegal. Another quote I read, it says, and I don't like it, and I don't want nobody to play the effing interview. I don't care if you from the church or not, but respectful, and do not and do people right. Don't call people out they name. Don't make people feel like they not safe in a place that they thought they were safe. I'm telling you right now, we need to work it. We need to work it out, because if we don't, it's going to be a problem. Now, I'm so tired of Ray J's like bull. Like Ray J, he's the most annoying celebrity in my opinion. He is extremely annoying. He has moments that are just so dumb, but they're funny. I will say that it's just classic Ray J moments, and that's literally of what people are saying. Ray J being Ray J. Shortly after the rant, Ray J then took to IG revealing that someone allegedly attempted to try to shoot him, which I mean shoot uh Ray J, which I mentioned. I won't read what he had said of that, but apparently that, and they're saying it is unconfirmed whether the shooting and Ray J's issues with Pastor Jamal Bryant are related. It remains unclear what the singer's issues are with the church leader and whether Bryant has reached out for a conversation. I'll break it down like this. I personally think that it might have got intense if they spoke on political views, because Ray J is a very, outspoken, publicly supporting of the current, the soon to be President elect Donald Trump, former president and President elect Donald Trump. Ray J was in attendance at his campaign watch party on election night. You can see it all on social media. Him, Amber Rose, there was another lady there. I'm forgetting to say my life, but they're all the reason why it was easy to point him out, because won't that many people of color, won't that many black people at that watch party. He was very easy to point out. Very easy to point out. But yeah, so and again, Pastor Jamal Bryant, the opposite. So maybe it got intense on that case. Also, maybe Pastor Jamal Bryant started speaking faith to him, because again, Ray J is a person that derives his funds off of ratchetness, ignorance, idioticness. All right. You know how I feel about reality TV. Ray J is all about the fighting, the arguing. I ain't gonna say arguing, the arguing. All that stuff Ray J loves, and he makes money off it. Now, the sad thing is, Ray J is extremely fortunate and extremely talented. The man has made millions off of I think he's starting to invest in in tech devices, Raycon earpieces, earbuds, like motorized scooters. Like, he's a very successful dude. Ratchet TV, he didn't need that, but you know what? He's all about the almighty dollar, and I can't be mad at him. He found something that he can make a huge profit off of. By all means, I just always say, remember the message that it sends. Anything that I invest in, I also hope that it provides a positive message to society. Seriously. That's no disrespect to anybody that says invest, that might be a strip club owner, or owns an alcohol brand, or owns a line of cigars, or a line of cigarettes. Like, I don't have any issue with that. I'm just speaking on behalf of Arrington, and the fact that I'm all about changing the narrative and putting something out to the masses with a positive message. I'll be damned if I am an investor in some of the love and hip hop franchises. I couldn't. I really couldn't. Now, if I want to change the outcome and be like, look, show the real life of of an artist, from sun up to sundown, not fully always showing the issues and the disagreements and the tensions that happen. No. Show some positive sides to it. You know what I mean? But that's just me. That's just me. But again, I'm curious to see. I hope the video does drop. I really do. I hope Pastor Jamal Bryant can ignore Ray J's requests, because I feel as though, hey, TV is TV. I mean, what's Ray J gonna sue him? Pastor Jamal Bryant, he ain't no broke guy either. So I hope that there was already some paperwork that was signed prior, and that they can just move forward and show this video, because now I'm curious. Now I'm really curious about it. But that's just me, my friends. That's just me. Okay, we're gonna move it on. We are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I want to share a quick video of the very well known, um, very well known Democratic strategist James Carville, the Raging Cajun. I want to share a quick soundbite of him um, on his take on the most recent election, as well as Fox News Jesse Waters. He also had to share some, some updates after this election. So don't go anywhere, my friends. We will be right back. You are listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back. Welcome back. So check this out. James Carville, known as the Raging Cajun, Um, he shared his thoughts on the recent election, and I just felt like playing that soundbite for you before I move on to the next, the next topics. Let me see if I can pull up this soundbite for you guys. Then also I have a clip to share with you from Fox News Jesse Waters in regards to the outcome of the election.
So let me put it like this. Where does that responsibility lie on the timing and how late Biden got out? Because if you're going to get out, get out earlier. Does that lie with, well, let me ask the question, James. Does that lie with the brain trust around him or with Joe Biden himself?
With the President Biden himself. Presidents are responsible for everything. They have aides, they have people, they have friends, they have everything else. But if he would have gotten out in the fall of last year, we'd have had 8 people running for president of every kind of thing you could imagine all over the country. And I mean, some really skilled people. But when you wait till the end, ultimately he's in charge. I don't blame the staff. I don't blame anybody else. He's the one that made the decision to stay. He stayed in over 3 weeks after the debate. I mean, even if he would have gotten out the day after the debate, we might have been able to organize some town halls and get this talent out there. That's what kills me is I know how good some of these people are, and they're sitting there playing They got 350 hitters all over AAA ball. Well, they're not any good unless you bring them up.
So let me put it like this.
So that was spoken by the Raging Cajun James Carville. Totally agree with what he had to say. I don't know how many times I can share on this program my frustration with the current president, Joe Biden. But I mean, hey, I'm not here to be a sore loser. They lost the election. Move on. We have a new president. Move on, y'all. Please. You can understand people can disappointed because your pick didn't get you weren't fortunate to have the pick that you voted for to win the election, and that your feelings towards Donald Trump. Hey, I understand, but at the end of the day, y'all, he's gonna be the president. All right, like, what are you gonna do? Continue to be depressed for the next 4 years? No, move it on. Do what you gotta do to help keep a positive mindset with everything. Next clip I want to play you real quick. Jesse Waters just kind of gives off something that is very relatable to what's happening in our society after this recent election. Jesse Waters, host of Jesse Waters, what was it called? Jesse Waters Prime Time or something like that. Yeah, Jesse Waters Prime Time. He's also a co-host of the most watched Fox News program, The Five. This is what he had to say in regards to what has happened in his life after this election.
Yep, people are taking some space in the Waters household. I'll have you know that I was not invited to my mother's house for Thanksgiving. Apparently, there wasn't enough room. She said it was a scheduling situation, and then at the last second invited me to come over on Black Friday. I told her no thanks. I'll be at Best Buy. Yep, people.
Aww, that's not right. I mean, poor Jesse wasn't invited to his own family's Thanksgiving, his own mother. Lord. Mama said, ooh, it's gonna be a schedule conflict. Sorry, you're not invited. Because see, here's the funny thing. So Jesse Waters is a conservative. You know, no ifs, no nothing about it. He's one of the popular voices on Fox News, and so he has made it kind of a thing, a part of a show, the fact that his mother is very liberal. She's a Democrat. She's a very, very liberal individual, and he is the opposite. But he still loves her mom, and he, you know, they always kind of both back and forth. But you know, hey, obviously she's not a happy camper if she voted for Kamala. But I just thought that was kind of funny, because he's like, oh, looks like I'm not gonna be invited for Thanksgiving, and yummy, and I'm just like, oh, whatever. Let's move it on. Let's move it on. So guys, Trump has picked some influential. He's continuing to pick members of his cabinet that will be serving on his upcoming administration, and he's been picking some influential figures. I have a list of all of them, but I just want to name you at least one of those influential figures by the name of Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is a Fox News host. He is co-host, I believe, on Fox and Friends Weekend Show. He's also hosts a couple of programs on Fox Nation. He does a lot of live coverage on Fox Nation, you know, pre-debate coverage, election coverage. He's a very popular personnel on that network. He's not the only influential, but I'll read a little more about his background when I get back to Pete. But just to give you the full list of who Donald Trump has chosen so far: Chief of Staff, Susie Wiles. All right, Susie Wiles is the first appointee Trump named after the 2024 election. Wiles, who served as Trump's co-campaign manager, will be the first woman to serve as White House Chief of Staff. So this is a first. So give it up, women. Give it up. Matter of fact, where's my applause button at? So she has worked for the Trump political operation off and on since 2016. Wiles managed Trump's campaign quietly, making very few media or public appearances, though Trump proudly presented her during his election night speech in Palm Beach, Florida, saying Susie likes to stay sort of in the back. Let me tell you, the Ice Maiden. We call her the Ice Maiden. Next up, we have Deputy Chief of Staff Stephen Miller. Trump has expected his name, it said, Stephen Miller, as the White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, a role that would have him taking on leading roles writing and implementing the administration immigration agenda. The agenda includes plans for mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. Now, Miller is one of Trump's longest serving and most trusted advisors. He worked with Trump on his 2016 presidential campaign before joining him at the White House as a senior advisor. Third, we have White House counsel Bill McGlinley. There we go. He is a longtime election attorney who served as White House cabinet secretary during Trump's first term. Now, during the 2024 election, he took on the new role as outside counsel for election integrity at the Republican National Committee. The role, if White House general counsel, serves as the point legal advisor for the president in regards to ethics oversight and judicial nominations. Now, the general counsel also is the point of contact between the White House and the Justice Department. We also have Secretary of Defense, man of the hour, Pete Hegseth. Now, in the flurry announcement, it says here Trump said he will nominate Hegseth as a Fox News host to serve as Secretary of Defense. While some former Fox News personalities have voiced support for Trump, Hegseth is the first current employee to be nominated for a position in his administration. It's an unexpected choice that deviates from the most of Trump's recent staff picks from his White House, who largely descends from political roles in federal and state government. Now, Hegseth is a veteran of the Army National Guard, where he did tours of duty in Iraq, Afghanistan, and Guantanamo Bay as an infantry officer. During his military service, he was awarded 2 Bronze Stars and a Combat Infantryman badge. Now, reading that explains why Trump chose Pete, right? Because before people even went to hear about his background, people were like, Fox News host? What? A Fox News host? Oh, here we go again. This man's bringing a personality to the White House. He's bringing a public figure, a celebrity, somebody that has no idea, doesn't know how to do this role to the White House. This is a disgrace. Hold your horses, people. Hold your horses. Look, he has clear experience. This man has served our country. He's an accomplished veteran. Okay. Yes. Once he retired, he became a voice and became a public figure and a popular personnel on Fox News. Good for him. Guess what? Jen Psaki, she left from the White House to go on MSNBC, and then oh Lord, what's her the current White House spokesperson, Jean Pierre. Oh, what is her? I'm forgetting her name to save my life, but she was a contributor or a regular face that I saw on CNN and MSNBC before she was the spokesperson for the White House. They always do it. Sometimes they go from TV to the White House. Sometimes they go from the White House to TV. Sean Spicer has his own program now. Dana Paj, I'm naming conservative figures right now because they, when they leave, when they leave office, they get shows. She was the former NRA spokesperson. Rudy Giuliani has his own show. Ben Carlson. Everybody get a show. Everybody get a show. Everybody goes to to TV, or radio. So I mean, people just need to calm down with the frustration of, oh, look who he's choosing. Oh my god. Look, I'm no fan of Donald Trump at all, nor am I a fan of Pete Hegseth. He is, in my opinion, yes, he's a loyal Trump supporter. He's very, very kissing the ring of a person to Trump. He's been like that on the network. He's always praised and defended Trump. That's who Trump wants. Trump wants the loyal people that will support him by all means necessary. Now, here's the thing. Pete has never held a government position like this. He served our country, but he's never held a position in this capacity. This will be his first time. Give the guy a chance, right? Now, hopefully, the president doesn't want him to do any, illegal work, because then the trust factor is gonna kick in. He's like, wait a minute, I did not serve the country to do this, sir. I'm curious to see how long he will stay. Would he stay for the full 4 years? Would he be leaving after 1 year or a few months? I mean, is he gonna be a Scaramucci kind of thing? Next up, we have Department of Homeland Security Secretary Governor Kristi Noem. I think that was a lady that was talking about killing her dog or something. Like, she was pretty weird. Anyway, she is the governor of South Dakota. The role holds a significant weight for Trump, who campaigned heavily on the issue of immigration, pledging to carry out mass deportation of undocumented immigrants. Noem, a devoted Christian, who is the first woman elected to serve as governor of South Dakota, is in her second term. In a statement, Trump cited one of her notable moves leading her state. Kristi has been very strong on border security. She was the first governor to send National Guard soldiers to help Texas fight the Biden border crisis, and they were sent a total of 8 times. Again, someone Trump highly admires. Next up, we have Central Intelligence Agency Director John Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe previously served as the Director of National Intelligence from 2020 to 2021, where he oversaw all 17 of the national intelligence agencies. He took the job after serving in the White House, where he represented Texas 4th District. In Congress, Ratcliffe was an outspoken supporter of Trump and at times questioned the validity of the Russia investigation. Um, here was a shocker one in my opinion. Secretary of State Marco Rubio. You hear me? Marco Rubio, Secretary of State. The Republican congressman out of Florida, Republican senator, U.S. senator out of Florida. Trump expected to nominate him to serve as Secretary of State, according to source familiar with the selection. If confirmed, Rubio would become the first Latino to ever serve as a national top diplomat. The selection officially brings Rubio into Trump's fold and offers a new chapter in the unfolding relationship between the former rivals from the 2016 Republican presidential nomination. Now, in the years since, Rubio has become a close advisor to Trump on foreign relations and was even a top contender for vice president until the day Trump announced Ohio Senator J.D. Vance as the running mate. Now, I think this is a huge pick for them. I think this is a huge pick for them because you're looking at a man who a lot of people was shocked at the amount of Latino voters he received, the Latino voters that he received during the presidential election. A lot of people did not imagine him receiving and getting that support from the Latino community. Now, this guy is going to be the first president to select a Secretary of State, a Latino, the first ever, and it happens to be Donald J. Trump. Talk about something that will uplift the Latino and Hispanic community. Am I wrong? No, I don't think I am. I think that's a return the favor kind of thing that Trump is doing. I mean, it's no different from in my opinion, President Joe Biden thanking the black community for, getting him in the White House from the get-go. And what does he do? He brings on a black female, a female of color as his VP, and he brings in the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court. You see where I'm going with here? Biden brings Ketanji Brown Jackson to the Supreme Court, first African-American female, knowing that Joe Biden is saying thank you to those who brought him to the White House, who voted him in the White House. And now Donald Trump is saying, well, look, I received a huge number of male Latino voters. And after all the crap that they tried to distance himself from that community, he's saying, well, look, you know what? I got your back. I guess who's going to be Secretary of State? Marco Rubio. I think that's a pretty big move right there. I'm not going to read all the descriptions from the rest of them, but National Security Advisor Mike Walsh, he's a U.S. representative, a Republican of Florida. Borders are Tom Heyman. I'll read a little more about their bios on the next show because I'm running a little low on time. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, former Arkansas governor Mike Huckabee, and former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee. The EPA administrator, former Representative Lee Zeldin. And then Department of Government Efficiency. This is going to be a big one for you guys. I don't know if y'all going to see this one coming. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy. So I'm gonna pause that one from there, my friends, because I have about 5 minutes left, and I really want to play you this clip from this story about the Something to Water Music Festival that is that's happening in my hometown of Hampton Roads in Virginia Beach. So let me see if I can excuse me, let me see if I can get that soundbite for you guys. Ooh, do, 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 do. See it. Come on, come on. I'm trying to see if I can get the video. I'm trying to see if I can get it for you guys. There we go. Still coming in. And I'm looking like, okay, come on. I'm trying to see if I can get this video for you guys. Perfect. Let me play this for you.
Some breaking news in Virginia Beach. Mayor Bobby Dyer just gave an ultimatum to the organizers of the Something in the Water Festival. He and other council members say they're angry at what they say is poor planning.
So the mayor just set a new deadline to get a deal done. Otherwise, he says the festival is off.
Yeah, certainly for the first time in a long time, tensions in city council chambers over this issue, not just leveraging an ultimatum, but saying that they felt festival organizers had become arrogant with the city as well as the people who enjoy the festival. That's one of the reasons Mayor Bobby Dyer saying that he is giving them until Friday to come to terms on a deal with the city. As you may remember, a new contract was in order following the cancellation of the festival a few months ago. How did we get here? Well, there's honestly more backstory than we have time to get into right now. But Something in the Water first launching in 2019 as a solution to College Beach weekend. But then this October, just a month before the festival in September, the festival was postponed. This is after ticket buyers already waited in line at the amphitheater just hours after tickets went on sale. So there was a lot of frustration with the city. They say communication has been poor. Again, this festival owned by Virginia Beach native and music producer Pharrell Williams. Other issues have to do with the festival dates. It was always supposed to be on the last weekend in April. Pharrell wanted to move it to October because of several weather issues in April, but the city is alleging communication was poor on that. Council members saying they feel like there's a perception that they're being walked all over by the festival. The usually affable Mayor Bobby Dyer turned visibly red as the conversation today started.
If they do not have this signed, sealed, and delivered by close of business on Friday, on Tuesday, I will be making a recommendation that we pull the plug and go in a different direction.
Again, the festival and the city, under the new terms passed by council just last month,
That's right,
we're
Bobby.
supposed to have a contract settled and signed by November 1st. That has not happened. Now, as the mayor was saying, he's giving them until Friday to have that contract signed, or if not, Tuesday, there's going to be a vote. Representing the festival is executive producer Robbie Wells. He's been with it since the beginning. He said that he apologizes for all of this. He said a lot of it is out of his control, with partners of the festival not yet coming to the table to sign the agreement. He said there's nothing he can assure council members that it will be done by Friday, but he is confident it can happen. Again, a lot of things just developing. We'll have more on Wavy News 10 at 6. Live at Virginia Beach City Hall, Brett Hall, 10 on your side.
So, I will say this: being a hometown guy, right? This has been a back and forth conversation, and I will talk because I'm running out of time, guys. Jeez, I tell you, this hour goes out. This goes past really fast. Look, I'm going to continue this conversation about the Something in the Water Music Festival on the next show. Do me a favor, my friends. Continue to support the Arrington Gavin Show. Tune in to us Monday through Fridays at 11 p.m. on WDJY 99.1 FM, as well as all streaming and digital platforms. Take care. God bless, my friends. See you next time.